Welcome to this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts, either through their insights, information, or simply learning from them. And today we have Alexander Moller. He is the founder of Enso Meditation, and we'll be talking about all things meditation with him. Welcome to the show, Alexander.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It is an absolute honor to be on your show.
You are welcome to the show, Alexander. You are welcome to India in this online form. And I'm sure not just in India, but a lot of people across the globe will benefit from what we will be talking right now. We'll be talking about the power of daily meditation. So, but before we come to that, let me understand a bit about your story, a bit about your background, so that people know you better, understand it, about you directly from you.
Absolutely. So my life has been, I've been in a constantly subjected to anxiety, and it has affected me deeply in my life, and in ways that have paralyzed me in so many senses. And I first, come COVID, I decided that I wanted to step a little bit out of the corporate scene and a little bit more, trying to learn about myself a little bit more. I was flooded with anxiety, and it got to a point that I basically meditation was my last resort, and I decided to give it a try, challenged myself, tried meditation for 30 days. That was about 4 years ago, and it changed my life. And one of the reasons I love teaching meditation is because I truly understand the value that it can bring to others' lives. I basically, when I first discovered meditation, I became obsessed with it. I read nonstop about it, and just basically practiced it incredibly, like so much. So, yeah, it's definitely been quite the journey, but I'm glad to be here now teaching meditation and helping others who may have endured the anxiety that I have, without a doubt.
Right, Alexander. You said this meditation changed your life. So
For sure.
I want to understand that a bit better, because
Sure.
when you are in deep issues, one has so many other issues in life. That time, a thing like meditation may not be very attractive. You may think, people are talking something, especially if one doesn't have that great understanding of it. So I want to understand then, how did meditation come into your life, and how did you welcome it, and so that it could change your life? Because unless you welcome something good, how will it impact you the way it should?
That is a great question, because intuitively, when we do encounter difficulties and hard times, the last thing we want to do is go for the harder option, right? The first thing we want to do is take a pill, or do something that's super easy, right? That can help distract us from the pain. So you're right. I did try a few things, but then I had a friend of mine who suggested meditation, and she suggested that meditation could be something worth trying. And I looked a little bit into it before I started doing it. And what really drew me to it was the fact that it is scientifically backed. I was a very kind of like, if there's no science to back it, if it's all just spiritual stuff, then it's not enough for me to want to follow it. So I looked into it, and I realized that it actually does change the structure of our brains, and we can talk about that a little bit later. But and then I dabbled a little bit more into it. But yeah, you're right. Meditation is 100% not a quick fix. It's not something that happens overnight. And it's just like if you have a sore back or a weak back, or if you struggle to walk properly, there's no quick fix. There's no pill that you can take, but you have to start exercising. You start very, very small, and you build your strength over time. And then the benefits are lifetime. It'll pay dividends for long years to come. So yeah, that's how I see it, for sure.
Right. So you welcomed meditation into your life, and then it changed your life, and then you are working towards bringing meditation in other people's life. That is where the Enso meditation comes in. How did you come to this part, the Enso meditation part? How many years it took, or you immediately went and founded this particular meditation thing?
Yeah, definitely. I'll answer that, but first I'll just tell you how meditation changed my life. I was riddled with anxiety. As I was saying, paralyzed with anxiety. I felt blocked. I felt like I couldn't speak to people, be my authentic self. I was inhibited greatly. And when I started meditating regularly, within 2-3 months, I became more in control of my thoughts. I realized greater creativity. I was more creative. I had better focus. Social settings were not as daunting as they used to be. I realized that people enjoyed being around me. I built better friendships, and I really became the best version of myself. And I was amazed. It didn't happen straight away, but there is this thing that I call the aha moment, right? Where you're just driving down the street, and then someone cuts you off, and you would usually get angry, and you're calm, and you're okay with it. So that's the first thing that I noticed. But then I realized that it's also having a very positive effect on my professional life. So I was becoming more productive, more focused. I was getting more work done. And then I realized that we're actually living in a time where, society and technology is actually holding us back. It's a disadvantage in our lives. So I realized that there are a lot of people out there in work settings who really do need to learn the tools and understand how to implement meditation into their lives. So they can gain that focus and clarity and equanimity and all that sort of stuff. And sometimes you experience it first, you're amazed by the benefit, you just want to give back and you want to help others. So that's something that I really was driven by. Just going to workplaces, helping them enhance their workplaces so they can be more productive. And I also help with aged care facilities, so helping the elderly as well, which is extremely rewarding. I really enjoy that.
Right, right,
Yeah,
Alexander. So I want to understand then, in terms of in terms of mental health that you talk,
yeah.
how should people look at meditation, anxiety, and mental health? What is possible? What is not possible? When people ask you these questions or something around it, how do you answer them that for them?
Okay, so anxiety, meditation, mental health, they're all within the same bubble. Okay, so anxiety is something that, we actually have anxiety because it's meant to protect us. It's a positive emotion in a way. Anxiety is designed to keep us alert, to protect us from that bear or that saber tooth, back from when our ancestors lived. The problem is that we don't have bears and saber tooth, roaming around us. So we don't really need it as much as we used to, but it is still a necessary part of our lives. So the role of the meditation plays in anxiety and mental health is that it gives you control over your thoughts. The role that it has over anxiety is it doesn't make you get rid of anxiety. That would be bad. As I said, we need anxiety. It helps you reestablish your relationship with anxiety. And when you know and understand how to control anxiety better, you can deal with circumstances without letting it take over you, right? So you become more in control of that anxiety. It's like a fire, right? You can use a fire to burn a house, but you can also use a fire to cook your meal. So anxiety is very much like that. And in terms of mental health, if you can control your anxiety, when anxiety is in control, and when you're more in control of your thoughts, everything else comes with it. Mental health improves a lot more. You become more productive. And to me, the most important thing is your confidence flourishes. You become more confident. This negative self-talk that constantly just, saturates our minds just slowly goes away, because we start understanding that those thoughts that we have, those thoughts of doubt, those thoughts of negativity that do lead to anxiety, they're just thoughts. They're just words. They don't define us, and in no way they represent us. And that's a very valuable lesson that meditation teaches us, is that those thoughts do not define us. And when you can establish that difference, that barrier between thoughts and who we are, then I think that you're opening yourself up to growth, personally and professionally, but you're also now not letting anxiety control you the way it used to.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Now let's look at the artificial intelligence part. A lot of
Uh-oh.
our problems in today's time is
Yeah.
because of social media.
Yes,
Because
definitely.
again, it's like we are not using it. Social media is actually using it and misusing us. That's the way,
I like that.
I can tell. Okay.
Yeah.
Amidst all these things, there are a lot of tools based on AI which are promising to take care of your mental health and also promising to bring meditation into your life. How do you see that part? Is it workable? Is it a solution? Or is it that meditation has to be in the raw form and in the way it is, so that all these things are actually do not become distraction, but actually the real meditation helps you in the real sense, and does not create further problems. How do you see it as a founder of Enso Meditation?
Okay, that's another good question. I think that AI and social media and technology advancing at such an incredible, unprecedented pace. I think it's a solution. An advantage, but it's not the solution. It's not the advantage. I think that you can use it to enhance your experience, and I think you can use it to open yourself up to more positivity, to more possibilities. And there is so much of that we can use. I also think it's a double-edged sword, and I think that if you overuse it, and if you don't know when to stop, and if you don't know when and how to go back to the basics, at some point you start losing autonomy over your own life, and you start forgetting what it's like to do things your way, and you start losing your sense of individuality when you have AI do everything for you. So I think that AI, being exposed to AI is great. It makes our lives a lot easier. It's a good supplementary addition or feature in our lives. But I really don't think it's something that we should rely on. It's like vitamin C and D and those multivitamins we take. We can't use them as a sole source of nutrition. They're a good supplement to what we already eat. So, but I do think that it does expose us to an array of different styles of meditation, and we can learn more about meditation and about everything. I mean, we're living in such an amazing time where we have free access to so many different things. My favorite meditation app, Insight Timer, which, by the way, I'm an instructor on, is free, right? So if you want to meditate, you don't have to go and pay for a $30 class or find someone, go trekking down into the countryside to find a guru. You can just go onto that app and listen to an excellent meditation teacher, and they can teach you a little bit more about meditation. So there are so many advantages to it. The problem is that, as humans do always, is they lean too much on things, and then that weakens them. When you lean too much on something, you stop using those muscles. So I think there's a lot of utility, but we need to know how and when to draw the line, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. The idea is to use it as a tool and not as a solution, because that cannot be a solution. Solution has to be found by you. So let's understand then, how does one get started with the right kind of meditation? What do you tell them? How do they get? You talk about two things. One is optimizing your life, and also about empowering yourself. So how does one get started with this?
Yeah, good point. Well, firstly, optimizing your life, empowering yourself, they go hand in hand, and they are a consequence of meditation. So when you start meditating, those things happen naturally. But how would you start meditating? And that's a huge issue, and that's so important, because the people start meditating. And let me describe to you the first time I meditated. I sat there and I thought I was cocky enough to think I can do it without guidance. So I sat there and I closed my eyes and I focused on my breath. And after about, I close my eyes and I'm focusing on my breath, and thoughts come in. I go back to my breath. I'm just like, wow, that's been so good. I open my eyes and I look at the clock, and it's been 1 minute out of 20. And I'm going, oh my God, there are 19 more minutes to go. So that can put people off. That can deter people from the process of meditation. So what I would suggest to beginner meditations who are starting, sorry about the sound in the background, it's my building. People are starting to meditate, start small, start very small. You know what? I would say start with 30 seconds a day. Start with 45, 30 seconds, 60 seconds a day. I know it sounds ridiculous, but the point when you're starting meditation, the goal is not to be good at meditation at first. The goal is to integrate it and welcome it as a regular fixture in your life. And then once you do, they say it takes 30, 40 days, whatever it is, to establish a habit as part of your life. Once you get that habit, then you can upgrade it. And every month or so, bring it up by a minute or two. And then by the end of the year, you're at a point where you're meditating 20 minutes a day, and it's seamless and it's effortless, and it completely changes your life. So I would say that. And I always recommend this book to my students, Atomic Habits by James Clear. I don't know if you've read it, Ajay, but it's a fantastic book, and it teaches you how to integrate habits into your life. But just start small. And sorry, you asked me one more question: how to know which is the right meditation to do. And look, there are literally 1,000 different types of meditations out there. So it's very hard to pinpoint what it is you should do or the person listening should do. But I would suggest try different types of meditations. Find what resonates with you, because I don't think that one meditation is better than another. I just think that some suit others better than others. And for me personally, the meditation that works for me the most, I'm sure you've heard of it, is Vipassana meditation and Anapanasati. So they're just more about focus on your body and mindfulness breathing. But there are so many. There's Vedic mantra meditations. There's visualization, body scans. I mean, there are so many different types of meditations. So it's all about trying the different ones and seeing which one works for you, without a doubt. I know it's a very broad answer, but it really is like that.
No, that's the way to tell about this, because everyone has a particular choice. Everybody has that. So this is perfectly all right. There is much to learn about these things, and it's good that people like you are spreading things which are an option for the easier options, like popping a pill, but every time that is not required. There are so many other options available, and that is where I said there is much to learn from you about all these things. And I'm sure a lot of people would like to learn more from you, more about you, be a part of your meditation practice. So what is the best way for them to do so?
So the best way would be to, you can go to my Instagram, just Enso Meditation, one word. You can also check out my website, ensomeditation.com.au. And, I put videos on my YouTube every now and then. It's just the Alex Moller is my YouTube handle, Alexander Moller. And, but, if you do reach out and if any of your listeners have any questions or need any advice, then just mention that you're a regular listener of this beautiful podcast, and I'll gladly accommodate you and give you advice. So that's an exclusive offer to members of your podcast, without a doubt.
Thank you for that, Alexander. With this, it's a wrap on this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live. Thank you so much indeed for joining us.
Thanks, Ajay. Appreciate it.